So I'm sitting outside on my front porch, just minding my own business, and my neighbor's daughter, and this ain't the first time she's done this. My neighbor's daughter, and mind you, I don't even talk to my neighbors like that, so we not cool like that. But every time I see her daughter couldn't be no more than 4 or maybe 5 years old, right? I remember when she was born. But anyway, every time I see her daughter be like, "Give me some money." Right? And usually I just laugh, but today I said, okay, let me give you a couple of dollars, right? Now some of y'all might say you shouldn't have gave her nothing, and some of y'all might say that was nice, but to me, she's a nice little girl. But listen, she's being groomed. She's being groomed to ask men for money. She's being groomed. I'm almost a complete stranger to this little girl, and this is what her mother said to me. Oh, she always asks people that. Why are you teaching your daughter to ask men for money? Right? That's the wrong thing to teach your daughter to ask men. So what's going on? So when y'all in the store, she sees any man, she's asking for money. Look, don't teach your girls, don't teach your kids, especially your little girls, to ask men for money and depend on men to give them money. Now I was being a nice person because this little girl has come up to me, like I said, a few times and asked me for money. But clearly this is something that she's being taught. Clearly this is something that she's been around. No little girl at 4 or 5 years old has just come out of nowhere knowing about how to ask for money and how to act. She just came to me and said, "Give me some money." And I'm like, that, I live in the hood and stuff like that. I'm not naive to people or women asking for money, but just how a lot of women today don't want to talk to a man if he ain't got no money. This little girl is being groomed just like that to deal with men on a money level. And a lot of times when you teaching a little girl that, you teaching a little girl other things that they shouldn't learn as well. I'm just saying, this just dawned on me. It's a sad thing that this little girl is being taught to ask men for money.